Hi, this is JP LaForest from Studio JPEG. In this video, I will be doing a review of this Canon 50mm f1.8 lens. I've had this lens for about 2.5 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's my go-to lens whenever I take videos. What I love about this lens is the image quality. It rivals some of the best lenses out there. DxOMark did some comparisons between the 50mm lenses from Canon, so the 1.8, 1.4, and 1.2L, and their findings were quite surprising that the center of the image with this one could be a bit sharper, but the edges are sharper with the other ones. So overall, I think that the image quality with this lens does hold up with some of the bigger lenses and much more expensive lenses out there, and that's always a great thing. The other thing I like about this lens is it's very small, it's lightweight, which means that it's not going to intimidate anybody. If you put this on a small camera such as the T2i and you just have this at the end of it, people are going to let you take pictures pretty much anywhere. Whereas if you have a 70 to 200mm f2.8 lens, which is going to be this big, then you really draw attention to yourself. But with this one, people are usually much more tolerant and much more friendly when you take pictures of them. And by having such a light weight, it's very easy to hold it all day on your camera. You're really not going to notice it. The disadvantage of that low weight, it means that this lens is plastic. So I would really not recommend that you drop it on the floor. But if you take good care of it, this lens can last you 10, 20 years or even longer. That being said, the lens mount in the back, for those that are curious, is also made of plastic. There's no rubber sealing or anything, which means that there's no weather sealing on this lens. So be careful if you're going to go out in rain or dust or any weird situations like that. This might not be the best lens for you. Which brings me to the next point, is the wonderful cost of this lens. When I bought it 2.5 years ago, it was only $99. Since then, the price went up a little bit, so it's up to maybe around $139 about. It varies depending on the times of the year. But I find it's a very great deal for a lens. And it's a lens that I think pretty much everybody should look into owning, either this one or if the budget permits you to get the 1.4 or 1.2L lenses, or you can get one from a different company such as Tamron, Sigma, Zeiss, or anybody else that does a 50mm lens. It's a great focal length to have. The big advantage of having a prime lens such as these 50mm is that you can have an aperture of 1.8 at a very low cost. So if you're going to take pictures at nighttime or at events such as weddings and receptions and things like that, this lens will let you take those pictures with not too much problem. And if you pair a flash with this, then you can take pictures pretty much anywhere at all. When it comes to videos, I find that the image quality is really wonderful. I love the look that this lens gives, but the only thing you have to watch out for is it does not have an image stabilizer in the lens, which means that you're going to need some sort of stabilization system, either a tripod or monopod or a shoulder rig or a fig rig or anything else that you can imagine. But if you stabilize the shot, the image quality is going to be great, and you're going to be able to take some videos in very low light situations. And those are very important things. The last aspect I will discuss is the 50mm range. As I mentioned, it's a standard lens. It's the way your eyes are used to seeing the world, which means that it does not distort the image such as a wide angle would do, and it doesn't compress the image as a telephoto would do. But one caveat with this lens is if you use it on a crop factor camera such as the Canon T2i, which I'm using right now, and I'm using in most of my videos, your 50 millimeters becomes an 80 millimeter equivalent. The way the image looks is going to stay the same, except that you're going to need to be further away to take the same pictures and the same videos. In some cases, it's not a problem. You can just move back. Like right now, I'm in the living room, and if I need to go further, I just push back the camera to the kitchen, and I mean, it's no problem for this scenario here. But if you're limited on space, then you might need to look into something wider, such as a 24 or a 30 millimeter, 35, or anywhere in that range. If you're super tight in space, then you would need to look into something maybe in the 10 to 15 millimeter range, but then it's going to distort your image greatly. So in conclusion, I really recommend this lens for anybody doing photography or videography. The image quality for both is really great, and the aperture of 1.8 opens up quite a lot of possibilities for low light photography. It's a lens I've used for thousands and thousands of pictures, and every time I'm amazed by the quality of the images that come out of it. So if you can afford the $99 or $139, I really recommend this. And if you have a bigger budget, you might want to look into the 50mm 1.4 or 1.2L lenses. They would offer some better autofocus systems, which is one of the weak points for this lens. And I find that for videos especially, I tend to use the manual focus much more often with this lens. But if you have good lighting and all that, then this lens will have no problem in catching the focus very quickly. And now on to some sample images taken with this lens. The first image is of a statue at Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré in Quebec. Zoomed in at 1:1, you can see the sharpness you could expect from a portrait shot. The second image is of a bowl of potatoes in a Mexican restaurant. Zoomed in at 1:1, you can see quite an amazing amount of detail on the potatoes. The third image was taken only with a candle to show the low light performance of this lens. The last image was taken in Chichen Itza, located in Yucatan, Mexico. This was after the light and sound show when they closed the lights. The reason the framing is a bit off is because I couldn't even see where the pyramid was with my eyes. But f1.8, ISO 1000, and 5-second exposure on a tripod did the trick for this one. Normally I would do some noise reduction, but I wanted to show you the original image with no touch-ups. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please click the like button if you enjoyed it. Please share the video with a friend on Facebook, Twitter, MSN, Skype, anywhere. And leave a comment below. Questions, suggestions, comments are always appreciated. And subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.